What's up, guys? This is my review of the trail tank for the 22 plus, I believe, YZ250. I think it would also fit the 125 as well. So one of the biggest problems I had with this bike is I could not see the fuel level in the factory tank. It's black, which is cool because if you change plastics, you don't have to change the tank. Yeah, that's awesome. But when you look down inside of it, you could not see how much fuel you had, and it only carried 1.8 gallons. So when I was out on the trails, more than once, I got a little nervous about whether or not I had enough fuel. So I wanted something with bigger capacity and something that was see-through so I could actually see how much fuel I have left. And this met that criteria perfectly. There are two other tanks available for this bike. There's the IMS, which I think has a little more capacity, but it's really ugly and it's really expensive, and it comes like all the way down to here. And then there's the Acerbis, which is I think about the same price, also really ugly. You have to use their cap, which people have had problems with, and it has this weird dual petcock system with cheap petcocks, and you have to do this Y thing. Some guys just bypass that and just use the one on the left side, which is all you need. You only need one. You can tilt the bike over. It's kind of nice to have a little extra fuel on the other side. It splashes around and ends up on, balancing out anyway. So this one uses the OEM petcock, which I really liked. We'll talk about that again in a second. And another thing I like about this is it doesn't widen the bike at all. It feels exactly the same when you're on it. You can see the shrouds. That's about the same as they were from factory. These stick out a little bit, but I don't feel it. I didn't notice a difference at all. The weight of the tank itself, yeah, I guess it's a little bit heavier than stock. I didn't notice. I filled it up all the way and I did notice a little bit. But when this thing's about half full, the same capacity as a factory tank is about this much, maybe somewhere in here, and that weight is now way lower. So if you run it with half a tank, about right here, you are moving all that weight that was up here all the way down here, and it feels lighter. Back to the looks. This looks really similar to the zip tie tank that was IMS made for the previous generation YZ that everybody loves. This looks really similar. They really took the styling from that one, which was a smart business move because everybody loves that tank, and it's just not available for this bike. But luckily this one is. The quality of it, the fit and finish, is excellent. I've had IMS tanks. I had one on a WR, and this is just as good. I love the stock OEM cap. It's easy to get replacements. If you wanted to put some fancy billet thing on there, you could. But the OEM's great quality, so no issues there. I love the factory petcock. The fitting is, I'm going to say a 9 out of 10. Maybe it's the way I have mine installed, and we'll get to the installation in a second. But it does just barely rub right here at full lock. It just barely hits. Look at that. See how it moves? Just barely. And the other thing is the kickstand rubs. So I got a piece of heat shrink and put it on there. It's getting filled up with dirt now, but it does rub just barely right here. It just barely touches. So with the vibration of the engine, I did notice just a slight, it wasn't wear, it was like discoloration from the kickstart. So I polished the kickstart and that made it go away most of the way, but I just threw this heat shrink on there just in case. I bought this bike to last me many years, and I really like this tank and want to keep it, and I don't want to eventually rub a hole in it, so I did that. Other than that, the seat fits great. The shrouds fit perfect. In here on this bolt, I do have to pull it down just a little bit, and in the installation instructions they say to leave all the bolts loose until you get all of them on and then fit it on. I just leave these two fully hooked up all the time, and then I just pull down and put this one in, and the mount on the inside is already tightened at that point, and it works fine for me. You cannot access your spark plug with the tank on. Not a big deal. Really easy to pull the tank on these bikes. One thing I'm not a huge fan of is the petcock comes straight down, and then to get into the carb is right there, so there's no way to go straight across. It's just too tight of a turn. So I'm looking for a petcock that I don't even know if it comes out straight to the right, if you'd be able to get that on. I just don't like the look of the loop. I've had some air bubbles in here. They don't affect anything, even wide open throttle, because the air bubbles all the way at the top. so it doesn't affect anything, but I wish I didn't have the air bubble. I don't know if there's any way around that. The IMS and the Acerbis, at least the IMS is definitely going to have that problem because it's, you know, all the way down here. That petcock comes out lower than the carb, which is crazy, but because the fuel level's higher, it works out. But anyway, not the hugest fan of this. That's not a problem with the tank, and I'd rather have the capacity than have this thing stop all the way up here. I love the amount of capacity I have. I can ride all day, you know, 5-6 hours. By that time, I'm tired and I'm done for the day anyway, and this lasts me. I don't even take extra fuel with me when I go out to ride for the day anymore. I just fill this thing up before I leave, and halfway through the day when I'm getting tired, the weight's now lower because I'm halfway out of fuel and the bike feels lighter and it's easier to ride, and that's pretty rad. No leaks, no nothing like that. The inside was clean. I rinsed it out just in case there was something in there, and it took like 2 days to dry it out. I had to blow it out really good with an air compressor to get all the water out. But yeah, no issues there. Looks good, feels good, fits good. I don't really have any complaints about it. I love how easy, let's see, where's the fuel at? Oh, it's right behind the shroud. I love how easy it is to see the fuel level with the clear tank. And you know, these big tanks, none of them look great, but this one looks better than the other one. So yeah, my fuel level's down there. But even if you got I think they have a blue or a black one, I forget which. When you look down inside, you can see the fuel level. So if you didn't want a clear one and you wanted the colored one, you'd still be able to see your fuel level and obviously get the capacity benefit. Mine does kind of, and I wonder if I installed it weird, it's just barely tilted that way, and I wonder if that's why the kickstand hits. I installed it as they describe in the instructions. On the stock tank, there are 2 plastic pieces that bolt into the tank, and then there's these aluminum kind of bushings that go in there, and you take one of the plastic things off, mount it to this, and then you turn the metal bushing thing the opposite direction. I wonder if I put a washer in there, if I could straighten this out, just move the cap that way a little bit, and that might get rid of my my kickstart just barely kissing it. I haven't really played with that yet, but maybe I will at some point. It doesn't really bother me. I kind of like the way the look of the heat shrink anyway. It kind of goes with the bike. But yeah, no issues with heat or anything like that. I mean, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. It's not that hot up here. The hottest I've ridden is like 85 with this tank. I don't really ride in the desert. I don't anticipate there'd be an issue with heat. I don't know. I guess if you're in the desert, maybe line the inside with some heat reflective stuff to prevent boilovers. I don't know if that's a thing on 2-strokes. I don't really ride the desert, but yeah, love the tank. I'll put a link to their website in the description. This is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I have no affiliation. I have talked to, I think he's the owner. Maybe he just works, I'm not sure. It's a small company. I don't really know. I have talked to him on Facebook. Tobin, he seems like a really cool guy. I've talked to him about YZs a little bit and jetting and stuff. Seems like a really cool guy, and it is an Oregon company. I'm in Oregon, so I'm always happy to support Oregon companies and the local guys. I've got a review on the Molecule Motorsports skid plate and handguards. I love those. That's another Oregon company. Go check them out. But yeah, big double thumbs up for me for the trail tank. I love it. Glad to have it. That was a essential mod on this thing. I would not want to be without it on this bike. Thanks for watching.